on to the next match in the women's division. Please welcome to the cage, Kyra Dial.
And now, making her way to the red corner, we have Kyra Dial. Kyra Dial represents Genesis Training Academy. Kyra also has a collegiate wrestling background. Trained with Kyra a lot through the years. She is a spark plug of energy, and this is one of her first forays into the competition realm in the cage itself. She's competed many a times out there on the regular platforms as we discussed, your Fight to Wins, your IBJJS, Nagas, all of those sorts of tournaments. But how will she do now that she's in the arena here with the cage? I think that this will work out for her fairly well just because she is also an MMA fighter and has some of that background of training with the wall and the fence. But she's going to be going up against a very talented and skilled grappler in her own respect. And Nadia. To us by way of AMAG, Colorado. She'll be in the blue corner, but she'll be cornered today by Brian Eastman.
First, out of the red corner, she trains out of Genesis Training Academy. Please welcome Kyra Dial. And her opponent, representing AMAG, please welcome Ljubisavljevic.
All business on the face of both of these ladies.
100%. They look locked in right now.
Kyra is being cornered right now by a couple of longtime fixtures of the Colorado MMA community, and Brandon Gertz as well as Art Petrosian.
Oof. Good takedown there. Slipped straight out of the guillotine attempt.
Slick duck under.
Yeah, that was really good. She got straight to the middle of the cage and started to control the pace of this match. And it looks like she's going to get this knee cut here.
Starts to work herself over into mount.
Boom, straight to mount.
See Nadia, though, trying to recollect her half guard, trying to grab that leg from the bottom side. But you talked about those wrestlers have such a strong base and knowing how to just surf on top, if you will.
100%. If a wrestler's on top of you, it's extremely difficult to get them on their back. That's a huge part of what they train for, and it looks like Nadia.
Big sweep.
Good scramble.
But again, though, that wrestling background, just understand where the hips are and how to maintain that top position. It's almost like a cat ending up on their feet.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say. Is they always find a way back to their feet, so it's impressive to watch. Yeah, she brings that arm under and starts creating that shoulder pressure, which is really, really effective. Really good.
And, the one thing that I can say from just the personal experience with Kyra is she's tough. She's gotten the hell beat out of her by a bunch of dudes that were way bigger than her for a long time. So I think that when it comes to actually going up against these female competitors who are her size, she's had a grit that's almost been kind of beaten into her, if you will.
Yeah, 100%. She's doing a really good job keeping Nadia's shoulders on the mat. But it looks like she has an opportunity here for...
Start to work for that armbar. Nope.
Yeah, good.
Now, if you're Nadia from the bottom, what do you need to do to try to start to get yourself out of this mounted position?
Yeah, so she went for that bridge and roll there, which it's really hard when you have someone who has a great base and gets back to their feet. I would be trying to push the knees, trying to get my knees back in front of me so I can work for my guard here. But it's got to be bridging and pushing the knees on your side. She's got to bridge. She's got to push the knees. She's got to shrimp away here. It looks like she's going for this bridge and roll, but that was a phenomenal job of keeping her balance, keeping her base there again.
And the use of the legs with the lower half, I mean, that's something that early on, I feel like a lot of grapplers have a challenge of figuring out how to use your upper body at the same time as your lower body. But when you're a wrestler, again, it just talks about you may be somewhat green in the jiu-jitsu spectrum, if you will, but you're not green as a grappler as a whole. Mm-hmm. So understanding those movements or those positions like the leg rudder right there to continue to establish that top, that's something that you don't typically see with a couple of grapplers that are at this early stage unless they have that wrestling background,
100%.
Right?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it.
And, I mean, Nadia continues to try to go to the well for that same hip, just bumping her hips and bridging and rolling.
Mm-hmm.
I think that she might want to potentially try, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but once Kyra gets into some of those higher mount positions, once the knees are closer to around the armpits, maybe she could try to start to do that kip escape and try to go out the back.
Oh, yeah, 100%. She shoots for the armbar there and gets back up. Yeah, and this is where she's doing such a good job of keeping the shoulders pinned. It's really difficult. She can't get on her side here. Both of her shoulders are on the mat here. This sucks as a grappler. This is draining as a grappler. You feel so stuck right here with both shoulders on the mat. But if Nadia can get that leg through and get back to her guard, she's going to be in a great position too. So
she could, and I mean, if she can really establish this frame that she's working on with her left arm, she can use that frame to then try to. She just lost the frame and went to grab the back of the head.
Yeah.
What I was about to say is, if she can use that left arm to create a frame to give her just enough space to then shoot the underhook and come out the back,
and that was beautiful. She got the leg through. She's back to her close guard, and she's got this overhook here. I would get on my side more so I can really start putting pressure on that shoulder. 15 seconds, looking for the submission here.
And that's regulation here. What do you folks from home think so far? Chime in and let us know on social media. That's me, Jordan Kurtz, at Comments from the Peanut Gallery. Josiah, where can people follow you?
Josiah the Ghost. Follow my Instagram, Josiah the Ghost.
And you can also reach out via the CJJC cage. As we move to our overtime round right now, we start the position off with Kyra Dial in the back. Kyra doing a good job so far of maintaining the position, but she's starting to lose the hip control just slightly.
Mm-hmm. Nadia does a good job getting back to her half guard. She's going to push those hips, try and get that knee in there. See, and this is what I was talking about earlier, is just pinning control of these shoulders, man. It makes it so difficult. She's getting to her side, and she gets the knee in. Really good job there.
And just a suffocating positional battle from Kyra Dial.
Draining.
But based off of this overtime rule set, it's got to be a sense of urgency right away. And Kyra escapes the armbar, is able to reverse the position, and ends up inside control. Steps over into mount. Working her way up to a high mount right now. With the arms high right there, I would like to see, though, from some of these spots, Kyra maybe take some risks. I get it. You're in a position to ride out the victory right now, but my style's a little bit more high risk, high reward myself. So I'd maybe, when Nadia started to reach and leave her arms extended, might have been tempted to go and jump for an armbar at that point.
100%. Slide up to that high mount, start working those arm bars, but
And that wraps up overtime for these two ladies here. Based on what we've seen so far, I think that we could probably say that it's safe to say that Kyra's going to get the nod on the decision.
Yeah, 100%. You know, she went from the start of the match, she went right to the center of the cage. She controlled the pace of the match. She was on top the entire time. She had a tremendous amount of control. I think it should be a pretty easy win for her.
Ladies and gentlemen,